We begin this episode seeing a news story about the Wonder Woman villain Cersei trying to take over the fictional nation of Polkastan with her assembled group of obvious incels, Sons of the Mascara. Afterwards, she plans to take over the Mascara and take her place as the rightful heir of the throne. I found this interesting because the Mascara seems to be something that society isn't sure exists. Also, the Sons of the Mascara interviews were hilarious. We cut to Rick Flag Sr. and Amanda Waller viewing the news story. Amanda cuts off the television and begins to lead Rick Flag Sr. to another section of her prison. She explains to him that Congress says she's not allowed to use human prisoners for her missions, but tells him these assholes aren't human. She runs down the profiles of the Bride, Weasel, Dr. Phosphorus, Nina Mazursky, and G.I. Robot. I thought this was an excellent way to quickly introduce the audience who may be unfamiliar with these characters with our team of monsters. Amanda opens the prison door, and the Creature Commandos begin to charge towards her. Rick Flag Sr. quickly draws his gun, but Miss Waller shocks them before they can reach her and Rick Flag. This was funny because I do not understand why people try to be mischievous with Amanda Waller, knowing she's always prepared to get her prisoners back in line. We cut to Rick Flag and the Creature Commandos on their aircraft, traveling to the country of Polkastan. He explains they're heading there to protect the princess until Cersei and her henchmen have been stopped. We get a little banter between the characters, and the bride asks if they're headed to Polkastan. Rick Flag Sr. confirms. The bride sighs. Nina Mazursky asks, "Have you been here before?" I have a feeling we're going to get to know more about the bride. Next, we see Rick Flag and our Creature Commandos meet the princess of Polkastan. Her guards play a joke on Rick Flag Sr. and begin to laugh at his expense. Afterwards, we see everyone enjoying dinner, while Rick Flag and the princess chat and get to know each other. Suddenly, we see them continue their conversation while sitting in the courtyard, and the princess makes it clear that she's totally into Rick Flag. She shows him his quarters, removes her dress, and begins to seduce him. Rick Flag refuses her, states he's there to do his job. Now we see Rick Flag sleeping and the rest of the Creature Commandos getting ready for bed in their respective living quarters. We end with the bride staring out of her window. The bride sneaks out of the castle with Nina Mazursky and makes her way to Dr. Victor's Frankenstein's castle. We cut to Rick Flag sleeping in bed and being awakened by Dr. Phosphorus trying to confiscate the device that delivers the shock to their brains. Rick Flag catches him, red-handed, and delivers a kick to the chest, and suddenly a little battle between the two began. Dr. Phosphorus is using his powers, which is totally unfair, but Rick Flag holds his own as a human and comes out the winner. I wonder if Amanda Waller must pay for the damage to the princess's property. Rick Flag explains they're on the same team and he doesn't want to use the device on them, and that the one he has in his possession isn't the only one. I think this may help him win the respect of our Creature Commandos. We cut back to the bride and Nina arriving at the old castle. Nina asks, "Where are we?" The bride simply responds, "The place I was born." We see an old woman looking at them from her house that's across the street from the old castle. She picks up her phone with Zac Efron as her screensaver. James Gunn is hilarious. She calls Frankenstein and informs him his bride is at the castle. He hangs up the phone and says, "My bride, after all these years, I finally found you." The episode fades to black. I think this was a solid premiere episode. I like how we're immediately thrown into the new DCU and quickly learn a little about all these characters so we as the audience can hit the ground running with this story. I didn't like the animation style when the first trailer for this series debuted, but the animation has clearly been refined and I think it works. I think Viola Davis, Frank Grillo, and everyone involved is doing a great job voicing their characters. I'm going to rate this episode a solid B. If you like this review, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.